Hello, it's Mike Perry here. Welcome to Mike's Take on the Movies.com. We're in the year 2014, and can you believe it's been 10 years since we've seen Gene Hackman in a brand new movie at our local cinema? From 1961 to 2004, Gene was a force on screen. He made his film debut in a movie called Mad Dog Cole in 1961, but it wasn't until '67 when he appeared as Buck Barrow in Bonnie and Clyde opposite Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway that he really got noticed. Got an Academy Award nomination for Supporting Actor, and from there moving forward became a go-to guy in supporting roles opposite actors like Burt Lancaster, Gregory Peck, and Robert Redford. When the 1970s came along, success awaited. First film of the decade, I Never Sang for My Father, got him an award nomination again for Best Actor. A year later, the character Popeye Doyle, French Connection, classic film, gets him an Academy Award for Best Actor. From there on, a year later, The Poseidon Adventure, another great film. Kind of in my mind, the go-to film for disaster flicks. He led an all-star cast. Shelley Winters, Ernest Borgnine, countless others were in the movie. From there, directors start to take notice of Gene. Francis Ford Coppola casts him in The Conversation. Nice little film from Richard Brooks, a little-known gem. Bite the Bullet is worth checking out. Superman is around the corner. Lex Luthor in part 1 and 2. Skip part 3, I believe. It's in part 4. So the 70s were very successful. A lot of great films for Hackman. The 1980s come around. A lot of dramatic films throughout the early part of the decade. Although he did appear in a movie called Uncommon Valor, which I think was fairly popular in the day. 1986. Hoosiers, another film you need to check out if you already haven't. Cast him as a basketball coach opposite Barbara Hershey. Dennis Hopper is in the film. Tries to steal every scene he's in. A couple years after that, Gene's back in full mode, getting top scripts coming to the door. Mississippi Burning. Great film. He's an FBI agent back in the 60s. If you haven't seen it, you need to check it out and savor the barbershop scene with Brad Dourif. Other films of that era that weren't necessarily big hits, but are well worth looking at. Bat 21 comes to mind. Hackman was busy. The 1990s are approaching. Clint Eastwood casts him as Little Bill in Unforgiven, a film most of us are going to be aware of. He gets a second Academy Award for that film in a supporting actor role. And for the 90s, he worked with so many up-and-coming actors. Will Smith, Enemy of the State, which is a film that's kind of fun because you're taking his character in a way from the Conversation in 1974, Whatever Happened to. 25 years later, he's in this movie Enemy of the State. Not the same character by name, but very similar. Denzel Washington, he worked with him as well, another up-and-comer in The Crimson Tide. And don't forget that Gene worked with a lot of great leading ladies as well. It wasn't just all testosterone macho guy films. Appeared with Liv Ullmann in Zandy's Bride, opposite Barbara Streisand in a film called All Night Long, kind of a little gem out there to check out, as well as opposite Anne Margaret and other actresses of the day. The other thing too is that can be overlooked in Gene Hackman's cinema, because we're so used to that grittiness that he would give us, is he could do comedy. He could cut up really well. Early films, even going back to Bonnie and Clyde, he can't stop telling a joke about selling a cow that I still laugh at to this day. And moving forward, Mel Brooks let him appear in Young Frankenstein. A lot of people don't even know it. They're watching it and they go, "Is that Gene Hackman under all that makeup?" And he cracks me up as a disgusting chain smoker in the movie Heartbreakers opposite Sigourney Weaver. And even up closer to the end of his career, one of my personal favorites is The Royal Tenenbaums. Strikes my funny bone, low-key humor, but I think the Academy overlooked Gene on that film. As his career was coming to a close, he appeared opposite his longtime friend Dustin Hoffman in a movie called The Runaway Jury. A year later, Welcome to Mooseport was a comedy, so he did end his career on a comedy. I'd like to think that he still gets scripts coming in from producers, and that something there is going to perhaps strike him just right, and he's going to say, "I'm going to do this one." and we'll see him one more time on screen. So if you haven't taken the time to look at Gene Hackman films, or just recall some of them, they're well worth the time. Go out and get yourself a Gene Hackman film, watch it and enjoy, and let's all hope that we see him one more time. So once again, Mike Perry at mikestakeonthemovies.com. Thank you for watching.